Okay, so I'm going to be taking a range of motion for cervical flexion, active range of motion. So first, for positioning, I make sure that his feet are flat on the floor and he's got a nice upright, tall posture. And then what we're going to do from here is line up our axis of rotation with his external auditory meatus. And then the stationary arm is going to be perpendicular to the floor. And then our moving arm is going to be lined up at the base of the nose. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, I want you to look down at the ground as best you can without any pain, okay? And go ahead and relax. And I've got you at 58 degrees of flexion, and then our normal range of motion is 0 to 45 degrees, so you're just a little bit past that, right? And then the movements that we'd watch out for that might impede this motion are again, just bad posture. If he's slouching, that's gonna not allow him to go through the full range of motion of flexion, so we just wanna make sure that he's sitting all the way upright, and then any pain he might be having could impede that motion as well. We're gonna be testing your elbow extension. So I've got you supine on the table here. I'm gonna have you flex your shoulder to 90 degrees. And then do just a slight elbow flexion. And actually from here, can you actually go through the full range of extension?
Yes.
Good, okay. So now I'm just gonna feel for your tricep, muscle belly, and then also your tricep tendon. And then with this manual muscle, go ahead and relax. With this manual muscle test, we're testing the major muscle is the triceps, and then it is innervated by your radial nerve, and then the nerve root is C6 through C8. All right, so let's put you back in that position here. All right, and then I'm gonna stabilize your shoulder right here. I'm gonna press down towards you, and I want you to press up towards me. Just gonna be for about 3 seconds, all right? You ready? Okay. Good, relax. So since he didn't break with maximum resistance, I would give him a 5 for that muscle test. And then I would also test bilaterally. If he broke at a moderate resistance, he would get a 4. And then if he broke at a minimum resistance, he would get a 3. And then he also gets a 3 for going through a full range of motion. And then if he couldn't get through a full range of motion, I would put him in a gravity minimized position. So go ahead and sit up for me, Dre. And then swing your legs over this way. So, okay, so for a 2, I would have to put Dre in a gravity minimized position. So I'd put him in short sitting, and then I would put the shoulder in the same motion. So shoulder is flexed to 90, and then elbow is slightly flexed. And then from here, we're just gonna see if you can go through that full range of motion. Go ahead. Good, so that would be a 2 in this position. And then for a 1, we would just try to feel for the triceps contracting. So I'm gonna come behind you here. And then he wouldn't have any motion, so go ahead. And then I would just feel for the tricep contracting. And then a 0 would be in the same position. He would try to do the motion, and then I wouldn't feel any muscle contractions. We're gonna test Dre's scapular upward rotation and abduction. So first, I'm going to have you flex your shoulder until you get to about eye level. Good, and then from there, I'm gonna have you go ahead and punch out. Good. One more time. Good. Go ahead and relax. So right now, I'm just feeling his serratus anterior, which is innervated by your long thoracic nerve, and then the nerve roots for that are C5 to C7. So him going through that full range of motion will get him a 3. So go ahead and go into that position one more time for me. And then from here, I'm gonna hold his scap and then apply pressure at his humerus to try to get him into downward rotation and a deduction, okay? So I'm gonna go for about 3 seconds, just try to resist me, okay? 1, 2, 3, relax. So I give him a 5 on that because he held against max resistance. If he couldn't hold against moderate resistance, or if he could hold against moderate resistance, it would be a 4, and then against minimum would be a 3. In order for him to get a 2, we put him in a gravity eliminated position. So I'd have him seated with his arm on a table and then a towel under his hand. And then from here, we're just going to have you slide slide that towel forward if you can, and I'm just going to feel the serratus as he slides. Go ahead and do it. And one more time. All right, so that would earn him a 2. And then for a 1, I would just feel for that muscle contracting, but he wouldn't be able to slide. So I would just feel it contracting. And then a 0 would be if there is no muscle contraction.